In this tutorial, we'll be going over the Chapter 4 SPSS exercises. So the first question is, they want you to create a frequency distribution including any appropriate measures of central tendency for the variable homosex. The first part of the question, they want you to answer which measure of central tendency, mean or median, is most appropriate to summarize the distribution of homosex, and explain why. So you're going to have to analyze, given the information you've learned during class, on the measures of central tendency, and you're going to have to figure out which is better for this variable, mean or median. So for the second part of this question, we need to create a frequency distribution for homosex, and we're going to separate the results for men and women. So we're going to have to use a data split file command, data split file organize output by groups, insert the variable sex into the command box labeled groups based on, and then click OK. And I'm going to show you how to do that in this video. And then in C, we're going to repeat B, but this time we're going to use premarital sex as your variable. So the data set for this exercise is going to be the GSS10 SSDS data set that you have. And the first thing you're going to need to do is you're going to have to run frequencies for this variable homosex. So we go to descriptive statistics, analyze frequencies. You can change these to the variable names and sort them alphabetically. We'll throw homosex over here into the variables, and then we'll hit this button statistics, and that'll bring up this menu, and you can select mean, median, and mode. And then hit continue, and then you just click OK. And this will give you your frequencies. Now if you wanted to display this work in a Microsoft Word document, like we did last week, just open up Microsoft Word, and then over here, right click, copy special, select image, and save as default, and then you can come over here and hit Control V, and that'll copy this in here. If you want to get this box up here too, you can do that as well. And then you can just arrange them how you want them. Now if you want to do both at the same time, let me show you how to do that. It's pretty simple. You can select this and then hold Control and select the other one, and that'll select both of them, and then you right click, copy special, come over here, Control V. Okay, so you're going to want to split this variable in order to view it by sex, male or female. So we go up here to this data, come down here to split file. Then we organize group output by groups, and we look for our variable sex, select that, and then we hit OK. Now SPSS is going to run these commands down here, but you have to go a step further in order to get your data. So you need to go back up here to Analyze, Descriptive Statistics, Frequencies, and then you can just hit OK again. And what that's going to do is that split your data by sex. So up here, the first things we have are the male respondents, and then we have the female respondents. So if you want to copy and paste all those, you can just do the same thing. Select the first one, then hit Control and click, Control click, Control click, copy special, OK. Now you can come over here and copy them and paste them in a Word document. So there you have all your frequency tables that you just did for this problem. So for the final part of this question, you need to look at the variable for premarital sex. And that is PREM Mars sex. So variable, statistics, mean, median, and mode. Really don't need mode, but I just select all three anyway. And then hit OK, and this will give you your frequencies. Now what they want you to do, just like in the last problem, is to split that for males and females. So you split that file the same way you did the last one. Organize output by groups, groups based on sex, hit OK. Once again, SPSS is going to put in the commands, but then you have to go to Analyze, Descriptive Statistics, Frequencies, and then just click OK again. And that'll bring up your frequency tables split by male and female. and then you can just select those all, copy them, and paste them into a Word document. Remember, after you've done the SPSS work, you've then got to analyze the information that you just brought up through SPSS. So in your homework, give a little summary of what you see there and explain the differences in attitudes that men and women have towards homosex and premarital sex. Question 2, we're interested in investigating whether males and females have equal levels of education. So we're going to use the variable educ, and we're going to use frequencies to produce the tables, and we're going to find the mean, median, and mode, and then we're going to do it separately for males and females. So we're going to first go into SPSS, and we're going to run all this stuff, and then part A is on average, do men and women have equal levels of education? You're going to have to do the analysis for that. And then B, do these group differences seem to be of practical importance? Do they make practical difference in the world? Analyze. So this is where you're going to take the stuff that you're learning in the classroom, and you're going to have to analyze what you're seeing from the SPSS output. Okay, so in SPSS, we're going to want to analyze descriptive statistics frequencies, and we're going to look for the variable educ. We're going to throw that over here. Then we go up to statistics, we click mean, median, and mode, continue, and then we hit OK, and that's going to give us our frequency table that we're working with. But we also need to split that by sex. So we go over here and we split file. We look for our variable. We organize the output by groups. Move that over here to groups based on sex. Hit OK. SPS runs its command, and then we analyze and run those frequencies again. Just have to hit OK because all the work has been done for us. So, and here we go. We have our frequency table for males and our frequency table for females. So you're going to want to copy and paste that into your Word document, and then underneath that you're going to need to answer the A and B part of the question, where you analyze the data that you're seeing that you get from SPSS. Question 3. Alright, so some people believe that social class influences the number of children that couples decide to have, so we're going to use the SPSS to investigate this question. So the variables we're working with this time are childs, and that measures the number of children that the respondent has. And we're going to split that file by class, and then we're going to run frequencies. And then you're going to have to answer A and B. That's where you're going to do your analyzing. And then C, we're going to rerun it, only this time we're going to change up the variable to the ideal number of children and see if there's a difference among the social classes. And then you're going to do an analysis of that as well. So we go up to here to analyze descriptive statistics, frequencies, and we look for our variables. This time we're going to do childs. We're going to throw that over here in the variables category. We're going to run statistics, continue, and hit OK. This will give us our frequency table. Then we're going to want to split that file by class. Organize output by groups, groups based on class, hit OK. SPSS does the work, and then we run up here to frequencies again and just click OK. And then we can see our frequency table here. This one's lower class. This one is for your working class. That's for your middle class. And that's for your upper class. So you're going to want to copy and paste those 4 frequency tables into a Word document, and then underneath that you can do all the analysis for parts A and B. So for part C, we're interested in the ideal number of children variable. So we go over here and we look for child ideal, and we do statistics of mean, median, and mode, and we hit OK. So this will give us our frequency table, but we also have to split that by social class as well. So we split file, and we look for the class variable, organize it by groups, hit OK. SPSS does its thing, and then we rerun the frequency. And now we've got the ideal number of children by social class. So our first one is lower class, working class, middle class, and upper class. Just like the parts A and B, you're going to want to copy and paste those into your Word document and then do your analysis. Question 4, we're going to be picking appropriate statistics to describe the central tendencies of a distribution. So Basing on the GSS-10 that we've been working with in the SPSS, we're going to determine the appropriate measures of central tendency for these 6 variables. So I'm going to show you how you can look these variables up in SPSS, and then you're going to have to figure out what's the best appropriate measure for central tendency. So we can use SPSS to tell us what level of measurement these variables are, and when we have the level of measurement, we'll know which is the most appropriate measure of central tendency. So if we go up to Utilities and then Variables, it'll give us all the variables here, and it'll tell us the level of measurement. So first one we're interested in is TV hours. It's going to be down here at the bottom because these are in alphabetical order. So hours watched per day of TV. It's going to give us the measurement level, and here it says scale, which also could be interval ratio. So that's how we figure out that one. Our next one is poll views. So we just have to figure out which variable we're searching for here. Poll views. So measurement level, nominal. So think to yourself, which is the best measure of central tendency for that? Next thing we're looking for is the number of hours the respondent worked last week. So there we go, and measurement level scale or interval ratio. Now we're looking for own gun. And we have a measurement level of nominal there. The next variable we're looking up is SIBS, which is how many brothers and sisters does someone have. So we just have to find that. There we go. Alright, so the level of scale or interval ratio. And the last variable is whether or not someone wants marijuana to be legalized, and that variable is grass. And that measurement level is nominal. So then we just have to figure out what's the best measure of central tendencies for each one of these variables. For the last question, we're going to start by splitting the data first, and then we're going to analyze the descriptive statistics. So we're going to click on Data, Split File, Organize Output by Groups, and place the 2 variables in there, one, HAP-MAR, and sex, in that order, into the Groups Based On box. Then we're going to click OK. I'm going to show you how to do that here. So we go into SPSS, we go up to Data, split the file, and then we find our 2 variables. And our variables are HAP-MAR and sex. And then we click OK. Now SPSS will do its thing, and then we're done with this part. Part A asks us to create a frequency distribution by clicking on Analyze Descriptive Statistics Frequencies, and then we're going to look up TV hours, and then we're also going to select the measures of central tendency, and we're going to click OK, and then we're going to look for the appropriate frequency tables and measures of central tendency. And then, for example, to find and report the frequency table for males who are pretty happy, we look for the section with values of happiness of marriage. Marriage equals pretty happy, and respondent sex equals male. So in SPSS, we're going to go to Analyze Descriptive Statistics Frequencies, and we're going to look up our variable, which is TV hours. And we're going to click on Statistics, and then do our measures of central tendency. Okay, so SPSS spits out a bunch of tables, and what we're looking for is happiness of marriage, pretty happy, and sex being male. So here we are. So you just scroll down until you find the one that you're looking for. So for part B, you need to look at these tables, and you need to analyze to see if there are any gaps in hours spent watching TV between men and women at different levels of marital satisfaction. And when you do that, you're finished. Thanks for watching. Again, here are my office hours and where I'll be. And if you need to get into contact with me, my email and my text number are on the D2L webpage. Happy to help anytime you guys need it.